Sweet, I get to bring some Blaster Master to NES Block, which I feel like is a tradition that I need to continue to uphold at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and get this started in, well, actually time starts on character control, so let's just go for it. Yeah, Japanese version. Just the Japanese version's the easiest. Ready and go. Alright, jump and shoot tank, the musical. You're a tank, you jump, you shoot, and there's music. It's very good. In fact, it is top 5 music of all Sunsoft soundtracks. Or possibly top 5 NES, something like that. Let's see, what am I doing? It's been a while since I played this game. Pause and unpause in between screens to cut out the scrolling animation. I'm going to do it again, and I'm also holding right during the pause and unpause so that my sub-weapon select actually shifts over to the triple missile, which I'm going to be picking up at some point during this run. Let's see, go down here, ow, taking a little bit of damage, that's alright. You take a lot of damage in Blaster Master, you get a lot of health pickups too. The drop rate on that is about 30%. So you get all the health you need until suddenly you don't, and then you're in trouble. The tank does not swim very fast. Jason swims pretty fast. No, wait, this is the Japanese version. This isn't Jason, this is Kane Gardner, and we're going to a dungeon. I'm a Marshmallow Man now. Is that right? I don't know. I'm just being silly right now. Pause on pause still applies here. There's a gun meter to the left. I could pick up gun upgrade to upgrade the gun, but every time I take damage, and I'm going to be damage boosting a lot, the gun goes away. So there's no point in grabbing it, particularly since you have grenades, and grenades are more than effective enough for anything that you're going to need. Let's see, let's go in here for a bit. We've got these bad guys right here, and they're going to drop my triple missiles. I'll back this up. I'm a little rusty at these controls. So, Metroid players wish that Mother Brain was this easy, because the first boss is going to be Mother Brain, and all I'm going to do here is just park here and shoot out grenades. I'll go ahead and cross through here, back up. By the way, neat little control trick. If you hold A, then you will strafe. You need to know that for a lot of things. First boss drops an upgrade for my tank, which is going to be the hyper upgrade, which upgrades my cannon on the tank. All my upgrades are for the tank. Kane gets nothing, and yeah, the tank, it may be called Sophia the Third in the US version, but in this version, the Japanese version, Sophia the Third is actually the planet we are on. The tank is named the Metal Attacker, and actually Blaster Master Zero kind of melded the two a bit by making Sophia the Third part of the Metal Attacker series, which was kind of neat. Anyways, Hyper allows me to kill that gate monster. I'm a little rusty here, so I hit the ledges all the way down. I'm into Area 2, and that's going to be the pattern for Blaster Master, which is you go to a dungeon, you defeat the boss, you get an upgrade for the tank, and then you move on to the next area. Area 2's got some pretty good music. It's a little bit maze-like. Yeah. We're going to be jumping on these platforms a lot. Area 2 is also going to start to introduce enemies that are a little more difficult for the Metal Attacker to handle. We'll get there in a moment. We've got these guys coming from the ceiling. They're easy enough to hit if you aim upward. Then we've got these worms. Yeah, that's some good music. But the worms, too short. It's a disco song. Yeah, just please, anybody watching this, feel free to dance along to the music, because it's very good and it's all worth dancing to. Lots of these skull guys, those balls do a lot of damage, 2 bars worth. And those worms, kind of difficult to hit. They're a little too short for the cannon to hit normally, but if you're good with your timing on your shots, then you can actually hit them on the way up and you won't have a problem. So let's see, get up here, jump up here. Yeah, Area 2, very maze-like. Ow. Those little balls don't do too much damage, maybe like half a bar's worth. By the way, 1 bar does not represent 1 health. The health ranges from 0 to 255, and the bars are just an approximation. So that's a little weird to keep track of sometimes. Let's see, what have we got here? We've got these guys that are usually pretty difficult to hit on your way through them. But yeah, with a lot of practice, it's possible to deal with it. By the way, I'm killing everything I come across because lag reduction is a major component to Blaster Master speedruns, because every enemy on the screen will lag the screen a little bit. We should be getting to the Area 2 dungeon here in a little bit, and Area 2's dungeon is, again, kind of maze-like. So it's not entirely clear, unless you've played it before, which way to go to get through this dungeon. But yeah, if you've played it before, it's the same every time. Thankfully, I'm not doing a warpless category, otherwise I would be trying to kill these guys to try to get hover pickups. So I don't have to worry about that at this point. I'll have to worry about it later. To the south, there is a health pickup and a gun pickup if you really want those. But anyways, we're getting to the Area 2 boss, Crabulus, and this glitch is so well known that it was in the Nintendo Power Guides and basically told you how to deal with the bosses. Shoot the grenade, pause the game, unpause when the boss is dead, and that's it. And that works on the bosses for Areas 2, 4, 6, and 7. Yeah. Yeah. Dancing to the music is mandatory when you get those long hallways. Absolutely mandatory. So Crabulus dropped the Crusher, which the Hyper made my cannon shot big, and Crusher turned it into a rainbow, which I kind of would expect the other way around, but whatever. In the Blaster Master Randomizer, Crusher is one of the best upgrades, or one of the worst that you can get, because it's going to open up a lot of areas that you can get to. In particular, you don't want to be going into Area 8 without Crusher, but anyways, what Crusher does is allows you to shoot out these walls here, which brings us to Area 3. And Area 3 is the point at which the game starts to take the training wheels off, because Area 3 is very difficult. These gumball machines here take like 4 shots from the Crusher, or 1 shot from the triple missile if you can hit it. And those balls, they drop to 2 bars worth of damage. They hurt a lot. So Area 3 is again long, windy, maze-like, and very difficult. You will, when you get here, you are probably going to lose a few lives, and I should talk a little bit about the difficulty of the game. Most people would have played this on the US version. You get 3 lives per continue, and on the US version you only get 4 continues, so you are very likely to use up all of them and then have to restart the game from the beginning. The Japanese version is a lot easier because you can get infinite continues. So you can keep going in the Japanese version until you beat the game. So that's one reason why anybody who wants to run this game, we recommend that you learn the Japanese version. The Japanese version has a lot of useful tricks that will make the game easier to get through, possibly beatable. Still a very difficult game, but it might be more approachable. So let's see, I'm going to be using these triple missiles a lot to take out these things. Again, the ceiling worm droppers, 4 crusher shots, or 1 triple missile. And I'll be using as many of those as I can, because I'm not going to have them after Area 3, but they're the most useful in this area anyways. So again, gumball machine, take that out, and then keep going up. One weird thing, you have to press down and attack in order to use your special weapon, but when you aim upward, there's a split second before when you let go of up before you aim downward again. So it is possible to shoot your triple missiles upward if you're really quick on the controls. Difficult, but doable. All right, there we go. We should be getting close to the Area 3 dungeon now. Good ace drop there. Shame I don't need them right now. Let's go ahead and take those out. I have an awful lot of life for this. All right, shoot that, shoot down there, grab your health pickups if they drop. They can lag the screen too. They don't lag the game as much as enemies do, but they still lag the game all the same. Should bring us to the Area 3 dungeon, and that's going to be pretty difficult. There's a lot of reasons that the Area 3 dungeon is going to be difficult. It's long, it's windy, there are spikes that you have to walk through if you want to be optimal on time, and not only that, but it's going to have one of the more difficult bosses of the run, Photophage. Normally, if you were doing a category that disallowed reset warps, then you would probably take a death right here, and that would reset your health bar, but I'm not going to be doing that, so I'm going to go into Photophage with 4 health, which for me is actually a lot, but if you're a newer runner, I recommend 5 or 6. Photophage is going to be a block. It's going to appear in a set pattern, and you have to keep up with that, or else some of the blocks will escape you, it will start to reproduce, and then suddenly you're going to have blocks everywhere, and you're not going to have a good time. One of them got away, but only one got away, so that was a pretty decent fight. Another reason we recommend running the Japanese version, though, is because in the Japanese version, reset button brings you back to the title screen, we can start again, and then when we start, we're going to find that the Japanese version did not take away your upgrades when you pressed the reset button, which is convenient because the entrance to Area 4 is way back at the beginning of the game, so we just saved ourselves a whole lot of travel time backward. But my hover module, which was dropped by Photophage, is now empty, so I'm going to be trying to farm up just enough hover to get up to the Area 4 entrance, and I need, that's not good. Okay, we'll get that. I need 2.5 at least, so 3 is going to do it, and I take the intentional death to warp back here. We're going to get up here. Most people like to swing wide so that those enemies' jumps don't get you. I just aim upward and shoot when they jump. And so that's going to bring us to the entrance to Area 4. And I like the warpless category because the warpless category is going to have to go through this level. I do like the track to this level. It's foreboding, it's ominous, but we're not going to be doing very much of Area 4 because there is a glitch that I have yet to introduce that I'm just going to go ahead and do here. Let's take out this enemy for safety. Yeah, yeah. You go left through the door, but if you press right on the correct frame, then you can do the door entering animation, but do it the wrong way, which allows you to skip right past the gate that would normally require you to beat the Area 4 boss. But I'm now here without the tank, so I'm going to be doing the door wrapping thing again, because that's shifting all these tiles off by 1, which those blocks there need Crusher in order to destroy them, but pause on pause, get through there, and that can phase you right through those blocks. Area 5, if Area 3 is the point at which the game started taking the training wheels off, Area 5 is where the game really starts to throw everything it has at you, because you would have to get through most of this stage swimming anyways without the tank. And so you end up in an overworld area. Kane, whoever this is, doesn't have very good weapons for actually taking out these guys. The scuba divers, for example, have, they take 3 shots to take out, and you can only have 2 on screen at a time. So, not convenient, but it is possible to do it if you get close enough and just tap your buttons right. Ow. That's alright, I'm taking a little bit of damage, but it's going to be completely fine. Then Area 5's dungeon also has a whole lot of bad guys in it, and they'll take a whole lot of health out of you. Especially most newer players, when doing this casually, they really want to get through this dungeon with a full gun. There's not very many gun drops in this dungeon, and the boss at the end of the dungeon is one of the most difficult casually. Hard shell. I would say, without glitches, unambiguously the most difficult boss in the game. I do run the glitchless category, and yeah, the hard shell is the boss that I find to be the most difficult. So let's go ahead and take these guys out, but there's a nice little glitch here. That's it. Yeah. if you do a pause buffer and wait for the screen to turn orange, then when you unpause, you can go ahead and leave the room and then go left one room, and hard shell turns into a Game Boy, which is a lot more easy to take out. That specific glitch is easiest on the Japanese version. You have a roughly 6-frame window for it, so it's fairly easy to pull off. It's also possible to pull it off on the US version, but the US version is frame perfect. Very difficult to do. I'll take the intentional deaths for the game over so that I warp back to the entrance. I don't have to go through the rest of the level, and I get the tank back. And I get the dive module from hard shell, which allows the tank to swim, which is only useful for this level. Now, we're never going to use it again. This game, there's a lot of various interpretations of key for various interpretations of door, which actually describes most point-and-click adventure games too, but I digress. And Blaster Master 2 is a little worse about that. I do like Blaster Master 2 though. Anyways, Area 6, ice level. So you've got your ice mechanics, your slippery friction. The ice mechanics actually work a little bit differently between the US and Japanese versions. There's less friction, more slipperiness on the US version. So if you have certain muscle memory for the Japanese version and then you switch over to the US version, you could slip up a little bit there. And yes, the pun is intentional. My puns are always intentional, even when they're not, especially when they're not. Anyways, we'll go ahead and go up here, zigzag up in here. There's going to be some platforms here. We really don't want to fall down here because if we fall down, then we're going to end up having to... I don't think that was what I was supposed to do. If we fall down, then we're going to have to do one of two things. We're going to have to either wrap around the entire level or take a death, leap of faith, no problem, take a death to reset the room. Both of those would cost a fair amount of time. Let's see, ice, spikes, all of those, bad deal. I've got some H missiles. Am I going to use them? I have no idea. I usually don't expect to have H missiles in any percent because every time you use a continue or use a warp, that's either death or a reset warp, you lose all of them. I should have switched to H missiles there, but oh well, that's not going to be a huge deal. Lots of worms here. You can take them out with exact timing. I would have used an H missile on that one if I had remembered to switch. And I don't think I'm going to use it in this next to him. I'll select it just in case. The H missiles can take out these flying things quite quickly, but the problem is that you are liable to fire up to 4 of them on screen at once, and if you're not careful with them, then they could lag out the screen quite a bit. So here, yeah, it's possible to pause, unpause to get up there pretty quickly. I didn't do that. I'm just not used to doing that. Then we've got our Area 6 dungeon. Lots of ice, lots of spikes. I'm just going to take this health refill for safety. In a PB attempt, you would just gun for the exit here. But marathon setting, I like to have the extra health. Frozen Crabulus is susceptible to the grenade glitch, but there are certain things that can mess up your run if Frozen Crabulus does not go well. Running on the spikes there, the spikes do not have ice mechanics, so although I take a little extra damage, it's easier to line up my walk. So let's go with Frozen Crabulus. Frozen Crabulus is quite prone to lagging, so try to be left here. That's not good. That's good. Nope, we got a zombie. And that's the thing you don't want to see with Frozen Crabulus. Oh, there we go. He exploded, but I died first. Frozen Crabulus things. The zombie takes you out sometimes. Let's try that again. There we go. That first shot lined up better. There we go. Perfect Frozen Crabulus fight. That's why you want to line it up exactly. And that one death is just a little time loss because reset, we're going back to the beginning of the game. Yeah, we're already 6 areas through and there's only 2 left. So let's see. The upgrade dropped by Frozen Crabulous is Wall 1, and that's going to allow me to drive on walls. But wait, I have a hover module. Well, I only have so much fuel for the hover module. Actually, I have no fuel at all, which is par for the course for this category. One other reason that I like to run Warpless is that Warpless tends to keep extra fuel around, and it does come in handy. But yeah, the entrance to Area 7 is in Area 2, so we're going to have to go back there. We would have had to backtrack through Areas 6, 5, and 4 to get back to the beginning, Area 1. So we just go here. Come here, shoot down here. Uh-oh, that's not the way I'm supposed to go. All right, there we go, Area 2. See, jump here, shoot that. Oh, the Area 7 is going to be fun. So Area 7 has gone through multiple versions. First, there was the original Go Through the Area Normally version, and the first submitted Blaster Master run to Speed Demos Archive did use the walk across lava glitch, so that saved a little bit of time there. But it otherwise went through the level normally, and since that first SDA run was a deathless run, it did not use any death warps to get back to the beginning of Area 7 quickly. But then the TAS, I believe, discovered a way to use door wraps and whatnot to shorten some of the trip through Area 7 and get to the entrance, but it required a drop that would have killed Kane and the frame-perfect entry into the dungeon, whereupon you die in the dungeon, and it was scary, so not many people went for it. But then some safer alternatives were discovered that could get you there more safely and could also get through most of the area, so you could use door wraps to get through the area. We're not doing any of that because there's a trick that's exclusive to the Japanese version, which I hope I get on the first try, but I don't know if I will. So all of the dungeons are just one big map. There's not separate dungeon maps, there's one dungeon map. Done. The timing on this trick is kind of precise, and it's only really going to be a huge time loss if I get a game over trying to do it. Am I going too early? Am I pausing too late? Let me think about that. It's been a while since I did this. I must be pausing too early. Yeah, this is a difficult trick to do at the best of times. I'll just keep at it until I get it. I only need to succeed once. Once I do, we can get through this. Alright, line up here. There we go.
Those difficult tricks that are that punishing and you miss them are just so mean.
It gets even worse in the warpless category because you have to do it both ways and you can't fail. Anyway, Solar Fred, also susceptible to the grenade glitch. If you stand at the very top of the screen, he can't get you except with his projectiles, so that will help you to line up your shots, and his first mouth opening is delayed a little bit, so you do have some extra time to line up that shot. Anyways, the quickest way back to the beginning of Area 7, just take the game over, and there's a convenient instant death right here. And which brings us to one of the worst Blaster Master sequels of all time, Wall 2. Yes, I like Blaster Master 2. I'm going to defend it, but Wall 2, there's no defending Wall 2. Okay, so Wall 2, in addition to allowing you to cling to the wall, also allows you to cling to the ceiling. But here's the problem with Wall 2. You ever see that scene in Spider-Man where Peter Parker keeps accidentally sticking to everything? That's Wall 2. So the problem is that when you drive over a ledge, Wall 2 is going to engage and cling you to the wall. So you can't just drive off ledges anymore. But it's a little worse than that because Wall 2 engaging overrides your jump button. So you will engage it accidentally a lot. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. So yeah, the entrance to Area 8 is in Area 3, and to get there, you have to drive along the ceiling to get there. You're usually hoping for a hover drop here. I didn't get it, that's all right. It's possible to beat Area 8 without any hover. It's made a little more difficult, but it's doable. But yeah, Wall 2 engages, you can't jump, and it tends to mess you up. But there are ways to deal with it. So it only engages if you're holding D-pad left or right. So if you actually let go of the D-pad before you get to the ledge, then it won't engage. It also won't engage if you jump and then land on the ledge past where it would engage. So that's another way to deal with it. And yeah, we get to Area 8, most difficult area in the game by far, because yeah, Wall 2 is trying to engage and send you into the pits where the spikes are. There's this room coming up. Oh, almost. My jump button delayed there. Let's try that again. So jump, jump. Oh, I got caught on the corner there, but managed to make it that time. Bringing us to the Heckway, the hardest room in the game. So there are worms. They're too short to hit normally. There are spikes. Wall 2 is trying to engage you into those spikes. So yeah, you've got worms that are giving you no room to breathe. You've got Wall 2 trying to make you take spike damage. And yeah, it's one of the most difficult rooms in the game. So that's why it's called the Heckway. But you get through it, you're pretty much home free. We've got this room. Uh-oh. Yeah, let's see. Lots of skulls coming by to drop things on you. It takes somewhere around 4 shots to take them out. I'm going to have to take this room a little carefully right now. I'm a little... jump, jump, jump. I think, yeah, that's going to put me in the final room as the tank, which we'll go ahead and get up here. Go over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shoot, jump up. Okay, good. Final dungeon, and there's not much to this dungeon. Just, there's a whole lot of blocks to shoot out, but the final boss is up here. Final 2 bosses, actually, because the title beast is right here. And there's 2 ways to deal with it, but I'm just going to do the simpler method, which is to line up. When you pause the game, it's not going to take damage while the game is paused, but it is going to run down its iframes, so you can kind of extend mileage from your grenades by just rapidly pausing and unpausing. That gets us to the final boss, and there's multiple ways to deal with this guy. I'm just going to try to do the safe spot method. Yeah, this is the safe spot. Yeah, as long as the black pixels on your legs are lined up just so, and they are, then he's not going to come down and hit you. And this is my preferred strat. There's 2 other ways to do this. You can repeat the hard shell glitch with this boss, or if you start on top of the screen, then you can mash and deal damage to him without him dealing damage to you. Time is when we fade to black. Time. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit rusty. 28-28 slow for me, but you know, Blaster Master, it's fun. That's NES Block. Yeah, I haven't played this game in months. So, yeah. Very thanks for having me. Do we want to let the ending play through and get the very thanks at the end, or? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to see the very thanks. Oh yeah, slight change to the ending. The fortress was not a pyramid, but it looked like kind of an alien tower, also no frog. The frog plot was added to the US version, but the blue hair is because Kane has blue hair. Also on the cover, I think, is a blonde-haired girl named Eve, and I think some of the later games worked Eve into the canon. I'm trying to remember which ones exactly, but I know Eve showed up. No. Jason and Eve were kind of historical characters in Blaster Master Blasting Again, but Blasting Again had two characters, Roddy and his sister. Oh no, I forgot the sister's name. All I remember is that she says, Roddy, Roddy. I need to play Blasting Again. I love that game. But yeah, special thanks to Moik and Chow. And then for the ending, oh yeah, we're gonna see both Cain and Eve on here. The end. Very thanks. Presented by Sunsoft.
Very thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Very thank you.
Mm-hmm.